The One Academy is the heart of our company. Cryptocurrency is not an easy product. It's a very innovative product based on technology and based on very, very complex concepts. For us to be part of this financial revolution, to be part of cryptocurrency and of a community, we need to understand exactly what we do and what we talk about. And this is why we have the One Academy. The One Academy provides you with concepts, provides you with explanation on cryptocurrency and on the financial world. I would encourage everybody to join the courses, to do the certificates, and to understand thoroughly how to use cryptocurrency, what cryptocurrency is, and how we can change the world by using cryptocurrency. One Academy. Learn today, lead tomorrow.
A blessed good morning and good day to everyone from the Caribbean and around the rest of the world. Thank you for being on the call. My name is Maureen Brown and I'm from Barbados. I am your host today. Just a reminder of why we are here. Our founder, Dr. Ruta, just told us we are learning today so we can lead tomorrow. What is One Academy? It's an innovative e-learning platform covering a broad range of financial topics, including trading, the stock exchange, cryptocurrency, financial analysis, asset management, and more. Our mission is to provide our students with the guidance and educational materials they need to achieve financial literacy. One Academy was developed by finance experts and academics. It's highly structured and easy to understand. You learn at your own pace and can be part of the future of global finance. We will be continuing with level 1, and our intention is to give you a unique sense of understanding of straightforward facts that you can use immediately to enhance your daily lives as well as promote our core product, One Academy. Remember, it's an interactive session, so please put your questions and comments in the chat box. Also, we will allow 1 or 2 contributions at the end of the discussion unless otherwise stated. I encourage you to take copious notes to assist you in your quest to become certified, knowledgeable, and wise investors. Mr. Pereira, are you with us? Are you ready? The call is over to you.
Yes, Maureen, a pleasant good morning to you, and by extension, all our One Academites, wherever you are in this region, and by extension, further afield, wherever you are, if it's morning or afternoon. It's good to have you on this call this morning. Of course, it's Wednesday, the 23rd of May, 2018, and of course, time is just moving on. And I want to welcome you to this call because this morning we will be taking a closer look at the banking system. There is so much to say about the banking system and so many different perspectives I am sure everyone on this call has as it relates to the banking system. I just want to be a little contentious this morning and just ask you this question. Are you happy with your bank and the services it's providing? Type in yes or no in the comment box just to get a perspective this morning on where you are. Are you happy with your banks or are you not happy with your banks? Share that thought with me this morning as we continue our look at the banking system, because I'm certain probably 8 out of 10 people are going to say to me that no. Absolutely, Dwayne definitely says no, he is not. Clinton is obviously not happy with the banking system. Kes B, definitely not. Absolutely, my brother. Marine, no, absolutely. You know, Kev, not at all. It is indeed, no one is happy with the banking system. Somehow we recognize, I believe now, that the world has been pulled over our eyes and somehow, somewhere, it got away from us, that the banks seem to operate totally different from maybe what we know. And it's almost like a work in progress sometimes. Noel, no to the banksters, absolutely Noel. It almost seems as if they're inventing new rules as they go along. And we can have countless stories. If I open the mic now, I'm certain every one of you will have your own classic story. Rajesh says, no way. Absolutely. And at the end of the story, and the end of this rabbit hole, we really want to explore this idea as it relates to this banking system. Now, I'm not here to talk the banks. but we really need to face reality for what it is. And some of the information I'm going to share with you, and I must put a disclaimer that the views that I'm about to share are the views of Larry Pereira and does not or may not necessarily reflect that of One Academy. It is my sole intention, One Academites, this morning to share with you information that may allow you to find the truth. At the end of the day, the truth is out there. And it is my intention, and by extension of the team that I represent, to show you the possibilities of what exists currently right now in the financial system. And I want to really start this morning's call with something really interesting. I don't know if many of you would have been familiar with, there's a gentleman out there, and he talks about the banking system. And I just want to share this little clip with you, and then we'll have this discussion, which I believe is of paramount importance at this point in time. Because the truth be told, that a lot of changes are happening in the financial system, and many of us are just clueless as to what is taking place. We have to be mindful of what is taking place now in the financial system, because if we are not, we are possibly going to be left behind. So I'm going to share this clip with you, and it is my intention that you will get some golden nuggets from this clip.
I think, first of all, an economic hitman, the main thing that I did, that economic hitmen do, is to identify countries with resources our corporations want, like oil, arrange a huge loan to that country from the World Bank or one of its sister organizations. That money then goes to our own corporations, not to the country, but to our own corporation to build power plants, industrial parks, infrastructure projects that make a lot of profit for those corporations, and help a few wealthy people in those countries, the ones who own the industries, the commercial centers. But the majority of the people suffer because the money is diverted from health, education, and other social services to try to pay off the interest on the loans. And in the end, they never pay off the principal.
So you as an economic hitman, you go to a country and you say to the leader of the country, take this giant loan, build a big dam, build a power plant, whatever. You're going to be a hero. You're going to help develop your country. And what happens if they say no?
Well, you're going to make a lot of money.
Oh, and you personally, we're going to make you rich
yeah,
too.
And all your friends and family. Yeah,
right.
yeah. And if you don't, well, remember what happened to Salvador Allende in Chile, and remember what happened to Arbenz in Guatemala, and Mossadegh in Iran, and Lumumba in the Congo. These are all people who didn't play the game, and they were either assassinated or overthrown in coups. So it's pretty clear to a government leader: either take the money and get rich in the process, or get thrown out. And I know that if you get thrown out or assassinated, you're going to be replaced by someone who will play the game. So what's the choice?
When you were an economic hitman, did you talk to any world leaders who said no thank you and who were then later assassinated by
two of my clients, Jaime Roldos, democratically elected president of Ecuador, and Omar Torrijos of Panama, who became a very good friend. Mm-hmm. And I had tremendous respect for these two men because they didn't play the game, and yet it also meant I wasn't doing my job, and I also was worried for them, and both of them were assassinated because they did not play the game.
So when the hitman can't talk them into it, the jackals come in and take them out.
Exactly. And if the jackals can't do it, as with Saddam Hussein and Gaddafi in Libya, then the military goes in.
So we get our way no matter what. And yes. We being not just the United States of America, but the corporate. Is this exclusively a corporate agenda and the government of the United States and other major countries? Because I know that, this is, in a way, this is kind of the old colonial Europe model. They would take over a country in Africa or the Middle East, and they'd say to the leaders, play along. And if the leaders said no, bang. And one of the few who actually stood up successfully was Gandhi. I think he's probably the only one. But in any case, is this mostly being driven by corporations and the governments go along, or is this being driven by government policy that helps the corporations, but there's some rationale that it's best for the United States if that oil that got accidentally put under the sand in Iraq, which is actually our oil, that we simply go recover it.
Yeah, well, I think that's the excuse that's used. It's best for the United States, but the truth is that globally now it's big corporations that run the whole system, including in China and much of the rest of the world. That the big corporations have so much control They control governments. And also one of the reasons I wrote the new Confessions is that 12 years after the first one was written, things have gotten much worse. This whole economic hitman system has spread from the developing countries, where I work primarily, to the United States, Europe, and the rest of the world. And in fact, it's created a failed global economic system, what I call a death economy, that's based on militarization, fear, debt, and the destruction of resources. And we have to change it.
So economic hitmen are now coming after targets in the United States?
Absolutely.
For example?
Well, all the debt that we have, I constantly run into students. I do a lot of lecturing at MBA programs and law schools and other university programs. And I constantly hear students say, I'm getting my MBA because I really want to do something good. I want to have kids. I want to create a job. I want to be an entrepreneur and create a business that's going to clean up the pollution, that's going to help mine the plastic in the Pacific, or something along those lines. Oh, but I just discovered that I should have figured this out before, but I owe $200,000 in education debt. So I'm going to have to go to work for a big corporation for a few years to pay off that debt. What I know is once they get into that system, they're probably going to fall in love, marry someone, buy a house, have kids, go deeper and deeper into debt, and probably never get out of the system. And the system's set up that way to bring them in. On top of that, we've got credit card debt, we've got health insurance debt. We don't have good health insurance, so people go deep into debt to get taken care of when they're sick.
Back in 1951, Russell Kirk wrote a book called The Conservative Mind, which William F. Buckley and my father, who was a conservative Republican, and many others have cited as the foundational moment. That book was the foundational moment of the modern conservative movement. And, he starts out with Sir Edmund Burke saying, it does me no harm if a man is allowed to be a hairdresser, but if he's allowed to vote, it does society considerable violence. And the original conservative back in the 1790s. And, up to this day. But in that book, Russell Kirk made the point that if the American middle class got large enough and strong enough, you would see upheaval in America because young people would revolt, minorities would revolt, women would demand rights, and this would create chaos. And then when the 60s and 70s happened, Nixon and all these other conservatives who were the disciples of Russell Kirk's book said, see, I told you so. Is that the kind of thing you're talking about? I mean, we're talking about the systematic, intentional destruction of the American middle class in order to support a giant corporate order.
It's absolutely what's been going on. Yes, there's no question about it. And it's become global also. But certainly it's happened here in the United States, especially since 9/11, which roughly coincides with when the original Confessions of an Economic Hitman came out. And we've also seen a huge increase in the jackals in this country, of course. I mean, the drones, the spying on us, the police brutality that we're hearing, the fight right now between Apple and the FBI, that's a real symbolic gesture.
So the takeout would be, if I'm a student and I've got $40,000 in student debt and I show up at an Occupy protest and I get arrested, I now have an arrest on my record. I'll never be able to get a good job. Exactly. I won't get into good colleges. My life is screwed. The jackals took me out. You don't have to be dead to be taken out.
Exactly. If you've got debt, you're a slave, basically, especially if you're in that kind of position. And
today you have it, folks. I advise you to read this book by John Perkins, New Confessions of an Economic Hitman. It's been out New York best-selling time for the last 5 to 7 years. Actually had redone the book because he actually worked for the CIA basically, and he gave some of his experiences. As I've indicated to you right now, for those now joining the call, the views expressed in this video are the sole views of Larry Pereira, are not necessarily the views of the One Academy and by extension the leadership. But at the end of the day, the truth be told, the information and the truth is out there. It is my intention for you to find it. We need to understand, guys, how deep this rabbit hole goes. It is really serious and more serious every single day. That you are, in fact, a slave and you are living and working on a plantation that has no walls, that has no chains. It is a prison for your mind. And I want you to wake up. Wake up, One Academy. Wake up, One Academites, and begin to understand that the world is not exactly what you think it is. The world is not going to school and get good grades and get a good job and we all live happily ever after. Who sold you that mind job? At the end of the day, it's nothing like that. The bank is not your friend, has never been your friend, and will never be your friend. That is the reality of this world that we're living in. And thank God for Dr. Ruja, who pointed us in a direction to give us the information that we need to come out of the matrix, to be able to understand, hey, this is what's going on. This is what is the reality of what is taking place at this time in our lives. We really need to be mindful of this information because it is going to help us to be able to take it to the next level. All right. So Rajesh says that the biggest sheep in wolf clothing is the bank. Absolutely, Rajesh. I firmly agree with you. Confessions, it's now New Confessions of an Economic Hitman. Guys, you need to get this book because it's going to help you to know how deep this rabbit hole goes. And that's the purpose of the One Academy training. That's the purpose of what Dr. Ruja wanted to accomplish. And we're taking on that dream now in the other side of the world, so that every single person on this call, that's why we need to max out the calls. These calls, in my opinion, need more people on the calls. Not because I want you to hear my voice or Marine's voice, but because you need to hear this information, guys, so that it can give you a global perspective of what is really going on. What is really wrong with the world today? And how can we take the necessary corrective measure so that we can come out of this rabbit hole? Because when you really look at the banking system is really a corporation. It is really designed to do one thing. As Andrea Anatopoulos, who's one of the big spokesmen for the Bitcoin fraternity, says it this way, that banks are highly parasitical in nature. Now, I'm not here this morning to attack the banks. I just want that point to be clear. But at the same time, we cannot go on living a lie, believing that it's hunky-dory, that the banking system is just doing whatever it wants. And the banking system is literally raping you of your hard-earned cash every single day in unnecessary fees and all kinds of new things that they come up with every day to confuse you. So you be the judge. If, as I've said again this morning, for those of you who had joined the call early, and those who are now joining the call now, if you're happy with the bank or if you're not happy with the bank, tell me. Tell me what's on your mind this morning and put it in the chat box and tell me, are you happy with your banking system or are you not happy with your banking system? For those of us who are now joining the call this morning, we're going to have this conversation rolling as we continue for the rest of the week. We talked about compound interest yesterday, and that's why we need to understand what is the dynamic principle of creating wealth. Of course, one of the main things that we all benefit from the One Life community is this education. But here's what's the other point of this education that maybe other people need to know. That when you purchase a package, you're really buying education. But at the same time, Dr. Ruja is giving you some of the hidden secrets of money. And the hidden secrets of money is the acquisition of the OneCoin cryptocurrency, the largest cryptocurrency on the planet, and by extension, ecosystem that really has compound interest tied into it. Because if you really look at where we started at 50 cents and now at $20.75, we have grown well over 5,000% in capital appreciation already. So the secret is the future of money. We talked about it in the videos that we play continuously every day and sharing the message globally wherever you are on this big blue planet, that we need to send this message out clearly to everyone. Because there is going to come a time, and I spoke to Marine yesterday on this, we were having this conversation as we were planning for the One Academy. Yes, there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes in planning to make this call possible. But why do I do it? Why do we do it? Because we love to do it. Because you need to hear this information. So we're doing our part to make sure that you guys get the information, that we wake up, not just to smell the coffee, but you wake up to realize what is actually taking place. So, Maureen, this morning, we're going to actually have a little more discussion this morning, and I want us to bring some of our participants into this call because we really need to get this thing moving. Noel, I want you to unmute your mic and share with me just in 2 minutes. What are your thoughts so far on what we're talking about this morning, sir? Good morning to you.
Hi, good morning, Larry.
Yes, good morning to you, sir.
Yes, good morning to all One Academites. It's so very, very important, the discussion that we're having this morning. And Larry, I'd like to congratulate you and Marine for really doing a fantastic job. I'm seeing you getting deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole. Excellent,
Indeed.
man. No, this information that you're sharing, I also like to make a disclaimer that the revelations that I'm going to give now is my personal opinion based upon research. And I've been doing research. As you know, I am the conspiracy realist. And this whole history of the banking system, the central banking system, the IMF, the World Bank, if you do research on Harry Dexter White, John Maynard Keynes, the founder of Keynesian economics, this whole thing is designed to create deficit spending, to have government in debt, to destroy and manipulate nations, and to accumulate a lot of wealth. And as you rightly said, and as the economic hitman said, to destroy the middle class, to enslave the population of the world, and to achieve their agendas. And people need to do personal research. In regards to the world of cryptocurrency, particularly OneCoin as a new exotic asset class that is appreciating in value. And as Dr. Ruja said in your presentation this morning in the video, it operates like gold. And what we have to see here is that people really need to get on board, to take personal responsibility for their own economic life, and determine the perspective from which they will create wealth, because wealth is really given to the elites, the 1%ers, the 3%ers that control the rest of the world. Even governments are in the back pockets of these large corporations, and these large corporations all have the connections to the bank, and they manipulate governments so that presidents and prime ministers and parliamentarians they are just stooges. They are just like puppets. And at the end of the day, the very poor suffers. All right, so people, my 2 cents is, when you look at the development of the internet before it is as we know, those same CIA people that you talk about, who the economic hitman work for, they are the ones who developed the internet. And I'm just giving you my personal view here, even concerning cryptocurrency. If you do the research carefully, when you do the research on Satoshi or the group of hackers or programmers at that time, we've been given the impression as if it is, this is a new thing. This thing has been existing since 1991. And they're the ones that I believe are coming out with this. And at the end of the day, we just have an opportunity to get some of these crumbs, a large portions of this crumb. But the elites and the same banksters, they're the ones that will profit because of what they're coming out with their blockchain and their own cryptocurrency. So everyone really do research, Larry. You're doing a great job. Congratulations, and good morning to everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Noel, for that stunning contribution. Just to reiterate, our Diamond, Ivan, Mark, and Michelle on the call this morning. Good morning to you guys. And of course, King James, and I think Patrice is also on the call. And Ivan is actually saying it goes deeper than that, everyone. A lot of us have no idea how much we are manipulated. All right. It is just the tip of the iceberg. All right. Of course, Marine is saying correct. Noel, it's all about personal responsibility, and we need to take back control, and it starts here. Yes, we need to take back control. We need to start taking back control, and that's why cryptocurrency is going to level the playing field. A major disruption is going to take place, One Academites, in the cryptocurrency world in the next 2 to 5 years. We are in the right place at the right time, but guess what? If you're in the right place at the right time and you bury your head in the sand and you don't say anything to anyone, it is tantamount to doing absolutely nothing. To know and not to do is not to know. That's the bottom line. This is so serious that people who do not get this information, or anyone who actually says no to this information that you're going to share with them, are doing themselves so much of an injustice that they're going to put themselves and their family behind for the next 20, 25 years. That's how serious it is. You want a reason why you need to go out there, start attending meetings, start going out there and doing one-on-ones, get the word out. This is the global perspective reason one academics that you really need to have, because this is serious business. At the end of the day, it is serious business. I see our Diamond King James is on the call. King, I want to wrap you into this call this morning. Good morning to your thoughts and perspectives right now, sir.
Hey, pleasant good morning to everyone. Man, I'm not sure if I want to touch this topic, man. It is it's really touching to my heart, and that whole opportunity, especially with the professional criminals, these banksters, it is really opening one's mind to really see what is taking place with the system. I was in Tobago yesterday, and I mentioned the cryptocurrency to a young lady, and the woman started up. No, well, when the government pass it and into use, I said, the government? Why you have to wait for the government? And she said, well, but when the banks and them says okay, I said, what? And it's not her alone. There's majority of everyone that's out there that have those thoughts and don't understand the simple definition of what is money. Friends, we could circumvent these people, man. We could circumvent the bank, these middlemen that have been putting us under immense pressure. We, my friends, when I say we, me and you, are empowered now to understand. Let's go back to a form of bartering. It's just digitally. So this digital bartering system that we are part of is second to none. It is unique. It is purposeful. It is what the deal shaker is going to allow proof of concept to be. It is all that we have. And I just saying, let's continue pressing on, man. If you have not been pressing on, start to press on more. If you have been pressing on and you find you're getting some rejections, please just continue using the law of average. Know that every 10 you talk to, you're going to get one. It's just as simple as that, man. Every no you get, you're getting closer to a yes. Because not everybody's going to tell you no. You just feel that way. So there's somebody was trying to tell me, but I'm speaking to a lot of people. I said, well, give me a figure. What is a lot of people? How many people did you speak to today? She started telling me something else. I said, listen, I have a box, and in this box, only numbers go in it. How many calls did you make today? They couldn't answer. So sometimes some people feel they're really working, but then there's no actual tracking of the process that they're actually doing. So that economic hitman video, I remember when I first saw that, it riled me up on the inside. I mean, really, friends, really, really, really. What is the purpose of cryptocurrency? Numerous benefits, but one of them is what? Transparency. Transparency. We can stop a lot of criminal activity with the use of cryptocurrency. Let's think about that in that manner. There's so much other ways we can look at the use and the benefit that cryptocurrency offers than what the traditional sector offers. And I'm not sure if we really understand all the benefits to it. And this is why we are here on the One Academy in the morning time, especially learning, engaging, and operating at a high level of learning. And friends, set your mind right. Set your mind right. Don't let no one steal your dream, because this opportunity is nothing but a dream that is coming true for each and every one of us.
Thank you so much, Diamond King, for that important contribution. Ivan, Diamond Ivan Mark, I want to wrap you into this conversation right now as we move forward with this call. It's a very interesting topic. As you said, we have not really just delved into anything. This is a tip of the iceberg. Your perspective this morning, sir.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Larry. You hearing me?
Yeah, hearing you loud and clear, sir.
Well, Larry, if we get into this topic this morning, right, from the professional aspect, it will go very, very long, it will go very deep, and it will get very bitter. But having said that, we have to be mindful that, listen, there's a short window, as Noel says, for us to free ourselves, or at least have some semblance of freedom, because the thing about it is that when the banks take hold of this digital currency and cryptocurrency start to invent and bring their own format, then we'll be back into that rabbit hole. So, and it will even get more intense. So my message is really to let's run as quickly as we can. I keep telling people, listen, do it as fast as you can and as much as you can, because when this whole thing goes back to the banking system, which it will be far worse than it was before. And people have to understand. So when I said that they have no idea how deep it goes, because as the economic hitman, I have the first book, I didn't get the second part. The economic hitman really is a reality. And people will say, oh, it sounds like, you know, pure fiction or anything like that. You know, fact sometimes is stranger than fiction. And that is so true, because from time immemorial, it has always been the elites controlling the governments, and they do it so systematically through the banking system. And you have to understand that it is done through the banking system is so powerful that it basically brings up governments, it takes down governments from pure economic standpoint. All right. And when Noel spoke about the internet actually, it is a far more effective way of being a hitman, the internet. And, you know, just the other day, I had places like Egypt and things being actually taken down by use of social media. And a lot of times it looks like if it's people in the country that basically is calling out for help. No, these were done by corporations using social media. All right. So it goes pretty deep. And we have to understand that. And we have to look at the reality square in the eye and really come to terms with it and deal with it from that aspect. And you heard from the economic hitman, it starts from school, getting into a loan and so on. And once you get that debt trap, because it is a trap, it is highly likely that you'll come out of it, except by knowledge of the truth and prudent financial well-being. That is how you get out of it. All right? And it is difficult to stay out of it through generations. But once you put a good platform like what we are doing here, and you put it into practice, the chances are, right? It is difficult, but the chances are that you could actually come out of it in some sort of way. All right, so that's it. I don't want to get more and more into it, because as I said, we could go on with this for a long time. But fantastic video to start this session with, so that it shocks people into reality. All right, so good morning, everyone, and I hope that we all have a fantastic One Academy Day today. And Larry, back to you.
Thank you so much, Ivan, for that global perspective. Yes, it's very important that we continue to do what we need to do and, of course, spread the word out. I just want to share a couple of minutes on this video with Robert Kiyosaki to kind of reinforce some of the information that we are receiving this morning.
But my next guest today says this is not always so, and has come up with a new set of rules to embrace while dealing with the current state of our economy. Robert Kiyosaki, a financial education advocate, as well as best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, joins us today to talk about his new book titled Conspiracy of the Rich, The 8 New Rules of Money. Robert, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for the time.
So the 8 new rules of money, this sounds very, very intriguing. When did the rules change?
Well, Conspiracy of the Rich is about how the rich took over the Federal Reserve Bank, and they changed the rules. In 1971, President Nixon took us off the gold standard. Once he did that, without permission of Congress and without permission of you and I, and at that point, the Federal Reserve and the Treasury could print money uncontrollably throughout the world. So this crisis today is the US dollar is toxic. It's going down in value as they print more and more of it. So that's when the rules really began to change. Again, it was 1971.
And so the rules were rewritten, and you say it's important now to understand the new rules so that we can make money in this climate. The first one you say that I thought was really interesting is that money is knowledge.
Right. Let me go back again. You know, most people say save money. Well, it's no longer money after 1971. So today, if you're saving money when bonds are paying zero and the Fed is printing trillions, saving money is really bad advice. So, but everybody's now saving, which is the worst time to save. So you can lose, if you had bought gold in 1980, you would have lost money. You can buy real estate and lose money. You can buy stocks and lose money. So it's not the stock or the asset. It's knowledge that makes you rich or poor, because a true investor can make a lot of money when the market's up, will make more money when the market's down. For like right now, this is my best time ever, bad economies.
So the secret is you've done your research, you've
Yes.
done your homework, you know where you should be putting your money.
Well, it's common sense that markets don't always go up, and most people buy, hold, and pray for the long term.
Right.
That's insanity in this volatility.
All right, so knowledge, inform yourself, and that's how you
Yes.
become powerful. The second rule I thought was very interesting, which is the need for speed.
Yes. Well, today you can make money at this rate of speed. Today we have 19-year-old kids like Facebook and MySpace. They're billionaires today. And old guys my age don't have anything. So, I mean, if a kid at 19 can become a billionaire and a guy like me is still trying to make 10,000, there's something wrong. So the speed of processing data, information, and business has gone up at exponential levels. So there's more opportunity today, especially if you're web savvy, you're 18 years old and know the web.
Right.
But old guy like me, I'm in trouble.
Right. And like you said earlier, if you went into a McDonald's
That's
and
right.
asked for a burger and fries and it took too long, you'd be out the door.
Right. McDonald's, I walk in there and I say, I want a Big Mac and fries, and boom, there it is. But if I wait 5 minutes, I'm gone.
Right. Makes perfect sense. Now, you also say that it's important now that everyone learn the language of money. What is that language?
Well, in the Conspiracy of the Rich, I cover we don't have financial education in schools. The question is that an accident? Language is simply vocabulary. When somebody says, it takes money to make money, that's not true. It takes words. So when I invest in real estate, I'm using a different vocabulary. When I'm in the stock market, it's different vocabulary. When I'm in commodities, it's different vocabulary.
Give me an example of some of these words.
Well, when I'm in real estate, a common term is cap rate, but in the stock market, it's called PE. And so if you don't speak the same language, it's like you and I trying to speak Japanese and Chinese.
Right.
Nobody understands you. So money is very simply vocabulary, which goes back to rule number one.
So there you have it, guys. Basically, Robert Kiyosaki telling us a little bit about the importance of education. Hence the reason why we're on these One Academy calls. Hence the reason why we need to fill this One Academy calls. It is still underpopulated. We need to get more people exposed to this. You need to lose half an hour or an hour's sleep. Get up and listen to these calls, because it's going to serve you and your family in the not too distant future as we are dealing with the new issues that are dealing with the geopolitical events of the world. So hats off to every single one of you who are on these calls every day, Monday to Friday, as we continue the discussion. Of course, it's 6:35 where I am, 5:35 in Jamaica, and of course, could be lunchtime where you are further afield. This is just my take this morning as we begin to touch this whole issue about the banking system. We're going to continue tomorrow where we really go into a little more meat of the subject, where we talk about fractional reserve. How does that actually work? What is the mechanism that governments use, commercial banks use, central banks use to be able to pull the wool over our eye? And we need to know how that works so we can stay unplugged and to put things in place to make that happen. So have yourself a great day. Maureen, it's back over to you as you wrap up this call.
Thank you so much, Larry. I want to thank everyone for the contributions they made. They're really rich and empowering and encouraging, despite how it may seem. I saw Denzel Finley with his hand up from the time the call started, and I messaged him privately, but I didn't hear from him. So Denzel, do you want to say something? I'm going to unmute your mic now. Denzel? Okay, Denzel, I will lower your hand. Denzel, I'm not hearing you, so I'm going to mute you again. Clifton, I'm going to unmute your mic. Do you want to chime in this morning, Clifton?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, as I missed some of the One Academy Zoom calls due to a bad internet connection, as I have been influenced by my fellow Trinidadians, I am amazed in being motivated and doing whatever it takes to make sure that each and every morning my financial knowledge is being upgraded. So here I am, had to drive from home to an area where the internet connection is better. So I encourage as I usually do, each and everyone on this call to make sure give all your loved ones the opportunity, a fair chance to say yes or no to this information. As Mr. Larry, I like to call him Dr. Larry. I have my special reasons why I say that. Josh shared with us. Let me check it out again, because that is a YouTube video of, I think, about 11 hours. I encourage you to take time and do research on this YouTube video. Let me find the name so I can. It's all about the Confession of an Economic Hitman. The audiobook is about 12 hours. So I don't think you will regret it. Please do research, and I think it will influence you on making your loved ones aware. So thanks once again, Miss Maureen, and let's make sure that within the month May, we max out our One Academy Zoom call. Thank you.
Thank you, Clifton. Thank you, Clifton. We appreciate that. We appreciate your contribution, sorry. There's a Grace Wittenberg on the line. I'd like to hear from you, my dear. I'm going to unmute your mic. Go ahead, Grace.
Oh,
Good morning.
good morning.
Yes, Grace. Do you want to shine in on the call this morning and say how it has impacted you and the One Life so far?
I started with One Life about a year, almost 2 years ago, and I've learned a lot, especially on the One Academy. And like Mr. Pereira said this morning, me too. I am not very happy with our banking system. And One Life gives me the opportunity to safeguard my earnings, for example. And in my opinion, it is a new family that I found. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Grace. Thank you. Yes, we do feel like a family and we want to make this family bigger. So I pray that we would get some more people on the call. I know it's pretty difficult on mornings for people to do it because they have to work, but we can still continue to encourage people. There's a Samsung SGH1497. I'm going to unmute your mic. Would you like to shine in, please? Samsung, are you there? Okay. I'm not hearing from Samsung, so I'm going to move quickly along. Jamal, want to hear from you? Go ahead.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I hope all is well, and I'll be very, very short. I want to touch on what Ivan said, that we don't know how deep this rabbit hole goes. He makes a very valid point about the banks can eventually resurface and use the cryptocurrency situation eventually to try and maintain a strategic advantage in the world. But if we continue to educate ourselves, we can protect ourselves and families from and help us to maneuver any financial situation to come and be able to deal with it. So I just want to say, plugging into the information on the calls, will keep us in the the correct spectrum of things. So that's just my shining on things. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamal. Elizabeth, do you want to shine in?
Yes, good morning, Maureen. Good morning, Larry. Good morning to all. absolutely fantastic discussion this morning. But the point I would like to add to all of this is succession planning. What we know and what we're learning must be passed on to the young. So if we can commit, and I have been distributing the kids package to as many of my friends for their kids and to as many orphanages and to as many, anywhere that I think I can reach children. If we can commit to even our schools in your PTA to bring this to the forefront at your PTA meetings, financial education for your children, I think we will make an impact. Because come what may, we are in a system, I agree, Larry, but we have to learn to survive the system. And I remember, from kindergarten when there was we were encouraged to make a piggy bank. And this wasn't anything fancy. It was simply a can, right, that you cut a hole on the top. And, our teachers, you were encouraged to put, if it's a penny or 5 cents or whatever it is. And she actually taught us if you did that every day and you open it after a month, how much you will have in there. And in a very simple fashion, you were taught how to save, okay? And more importantly, she showed us, pick something that you wanted. And this would be something simple, some candy or some treat or something. Pick something and save towards it. And I think if we continue with these simple lessons, and I have to congratulate One Academy for actually, oh, this is cute, yes, the piggy bank. I have to congratulate One Academy for actually making that kids package in a form that kids would like, the comic book fashion. Let's make sure that we get that out there, even to Sunday school, because the idea is really and truly the next generation is the one that actually will be coming along and will be in a system. You think we are in a bad system now? Wait a couple of years, 10 years, 15 years. So let us prepare them. Even, a simple act like, one of your colleagues is pregnant, or a friend or family is pregnant. Instead of throwing them a shower and giving them a whole lot of baby stuff that the kid is going to grow out in a few minutes, why don't you give them, a package where they can save towards that kid's, education, the grow up plans. There are many of them now. Pick one and really and truly give a gift that's going to grow with the child. If they don't want to go to college, they have seed capital to start a business. That's one of the biggest obstacles to starting a business. So I would like to advocate for, getting the message out to the kids, distributing those packages. Even if somebody says no to you, show them this. Say, at least give this to your child. And I think we would, bit by bit, be able to spread the word. So I just want to thank you for the opportunity to share, and I wish everyone a wonderful hump day. So long. See you soon, One Academites.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. That was brilliant. And the last person I will recognize and take one short comment from, I did notice Rashid, I hope I don't get your name called right. Forgive me. Our kids are key to sustain what we are propagating. True. I just wanted to read that as well. The last person that I will call on and recognize on the call is Mrs. Patrice James. I saw you, Patrice. Oh, there you are. Let's hear from you. Shine in. Patrice, are you there? Patrice, are you there? Patrice? She might have dropped off to sleep or she's gone. Okay. Well, I'm going to mute her mic and I'm going to just end by saying there were three things that Caius, that the last person that spoke on the video, I'm not getting the names called correctly. He left three things with us. He said, knowledge is what makes you rich. The need for speed, processing data is important, and learn the language of money. So One Academites, visitors, everyone on the call, we are learning today so we can lead tomorrow. I think I'm seeing Patrice. Patrice, are you there? Are you ready to speak now? Okay.
Hi. Hello?
Hi. Go ahead.
Yes, I had to run upstairs. I don't know what happened to the mic downstairs on the computer, but how are you, Maureen?
I'm well, and how are you? Patrice? Oh, gosh. Okay, I see what happened.
I'm on King James.
Yes, I
yeah.
know. Sorry.
I had to run upstairs, yes. Yeah. So, how are you?
I'm well, and how are you?
All right, great. I'm doing good this morning. Got up a bit late, but I'm here, and I must say that I really enjoyed everything that was said on the call by Elizabeth Johnson. I really thank you for that contribution because, you know, my heart is really the kids, the children. And this morning, I just want to quickly encourage you guys to do what you can where you are with what you have, because sometimes we doubt ourselves, we compare ourselves with other people, we look at the progress and the success that others are having in the company, the diamonds, blue diamonds, black diamonds, and sometimes we have no rank yet, or we are just a sapphire or a ruby, and we don't see the importance of what we have, the input that we have to give in the company. And so whoever you are on this call this morning, you take some time to do some introspection and figure out what value it is that you have to add to the team. And once again, do what you can where you are with what you have. I think it's Theodore Roosevelt that said that. Blessed day to everyone. Love you all.
Thank you so much, Patrice. And we appreciate you and your husband and all that you're doing and all the other leaders on the call. So without any further ado, I want to say have a great day and continue to have a productive One Life Day. Larry, you can take us out with Dr. Ruja.
The One Academy is the heart of our company. Cryptocurrency is not an easy product. It's a very innovative product based on technology and based on very, very complex concepts. For us to be part of this financial revolution, to be part of cryptocurrency and of a community, we need to understand exactly what we do and what we talk about. And this is why we have the One Academy. The One Academy provides you with concepts, provides you with explanation on cryptocurrency and on the financial world. I would encourage everybody to join the courses, to do the certificates, and to understand thoroughly how to use cryptocurrency, what cryptocurrency is, and how we can change the world by using cryptocurrency. One Academy. Learn today, lead tomorrow.